So we're back again with yet again another episode of Twilight Princess. In the last episode, we did a trail of errands. And in this episode, we're going to take on the Arbiter's Grounds, probably one of my favorite dungeons in Twilight Princess. But I usually have guests, so this person is somebody who's very special that hasn't gotten to guest in the series just yet. But who are you?
Zelda's like, hey Link, did you finish running those errands? Hey Link, did you finish running those errands?
This is
Hey
not
Link, did you finish running those errands? errands? Link and Minda had to run all those errands.
No, I'm not finished with those errands and I never will be, so quit checking up on me!
Yes, Zelda, I am finished with those errands. The end of the Twilight Princess game. Anyway, hey guys, it's Seek the Court here, and welcome to Lil Stop Plays Let's Play of Twilight Princess.
Can I be honest about something?
Yes. What?
So I was at Walgreens today to get some snackage, and I bought this thing of cookies, like snickerdoodle cookies, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna eat one in front of you on recording just to tease him. But honestly, I caved and finished them before I was able to record.
Oh my goodness. He's like,
Snickerdoodle.
Anyway, so we are doing the Arbiter's Ground. I am semi-knowledgeable with this game. I love Zelda games, but I've only completed Twilight Princess one time in my life, and that was the Wii version. I own the GameCube version as well, but I never completed the GameCube version, and I don't currently own the Wii U HD remake.
The HD remake is pretty good. I will remind everybody that for anybody who's played the HD version, in this version there are no stamps as opposed to that one. So this is kind of like the one reason. Yeah, it's like the one reason that I'm sticking to this version specifically, because I don't have to go and look for them. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Is there anything else in the HD version they like added, or is it just the stamps is the only difference with like the main game?
Just the stamps.
Okay. No new content, I guess.
Whoops, give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Anyway, but we actually want to go in this little spot and take these guys out. You want to take out the leader, pretty much. So, you want to get in a good spot enough to take... I was never actually ever to take this guy out before he notices me, so... That's a really hard thing to do, because you have to be far away enough so he doesn't see you, but...
That just reminded me, I don't know if you, like... Okay, so, what year did you do the original Let's Play that, like, you didn't finish? It was, like, 2015, 16?
Correct, I was not able to finish that one. Well, I chose not to finish that one because of my equipment upgrades.
Yeah, well, I remember vividly... Or I don't remember if I remember I guessed in one of those episodes. I think this was the same part of the game where I guessed in, I think.
You guessed it in the Goron Mines, the second part, I believe.
Oh, this is a little bit after that, yeah.
Yeah. That was a pretty good rough cut for that series, like the original Let's Play, which I really wish that I could have finished, but I think having an upgrade in capture materials kind of played like an independent variable pretty much, so I kind of wanted to take that role instead.
Yeah. Speaking of Twilight Princess as a game, I wanted to mention, so I remember when I was like younger in the Zelda franchise, when I first played the Zelda franchise like 10 years ago, and I started to get involved with more of the playing through most of the games for my first time, I just remember that I remember Twilight Princess, like, I enjoyed it, but I didn't like it. I used to think that this was one of the lower tier Zelda games, but weirdly enough, as time goes on, I enjoy the game more. I don't know, I feel like, I used to think, like, oh, the game's just alright, but now I'm kind of like, you know, this game ain't that bad, you know, it's actually kind of a good game. If you go back and look at the old playthrough you did, I remember I was kind of negative about this game in my episode I guessed in, but no, this is pretty top 10 Zelda games, I'd say. Even with my one playthrough, it's definitely better than Skyward Sword in my opinion. Maybe, I guess, I will say I feel like the GameCube version is more comfortable to play than the Wii version, at least for me. Would you agree?
I would probably agree. However, though, like, what I kind of don't really enjoy is the fact that, what is it? There's a pro and con to both. The reason that I play on this one is because I'm actually able to capture it, because my GameCube, like, decided, hey, I'm gonna crap out, but, the GameCube, you actually don't have to worry about, motion control or anything like that, so that's a kind of a one-upper for that version. But,
Yeah. I actually am going to be getting my repaired GameCube back in about 2 weeks from now when they go to Mobile, Alabama from Play and Talk Games. Their Mobile location, not their Gulfport location. They repaired it. The disk drive wasn't working, so I'm going to get it back, but it's been gone. I haven't had my GameCube for like 5 or 6 weeks, and I've been kind of joking that like my GameCube left me. Because I would always play my GameCube games I would always play my GameCube games on my Wii instead of my GameCube. And so the GameCube was just like, I'm leaving you. I feel betrayed.
I'm leaving you, old man.
I have a song, actually, if you want to hear it.
Oh, what is it?
I wrote a song.
Am I going to get copyrighted?
GameCube, come back. No, GameCube, come back. You can blame it all on the Wii. GameCube, come back. No. I love it. Oh my gosh. GameCube, come back.
GameCube, come back.
You can blame it all on the Wii.
GameCube, on the Wii. That is ridiculous.
That's gonna sings that song?
I don't know, but it's gonna be stuck in my head for a while. Think you had one job to not get a song stuck in my head, and you ruined it.
GameCube, come back.
I'm kind of wishing that I ate that snickerdoodle in front of you and like tease you with the cookie.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, so it's like, there's 3 dungeons, and then it gets the Master Sword, and then we have like 4 more in the game, like 4 more dungeons, it's like 7 total.
Actually 6 more dungeons, because you have to include the Palace of Twilight and Ganon's Castle, so that's about 7.
Oh, can we like talk about spoilers for the game, or is this Let's Play you're like no spoilers?
Sure, because I don't really think there's much to talk about regarding I did learn my lesson with spoilers, because I actually was in somebody's stream and like did spoil something by accident, which I admit wrong for, but I guess talk about what you want. I guess just kind of don't overdo it.
Oh yeah, I just didn't know if like you were the type in like your Let's Plays to be like, even if it's like a 15-year-old game that everyone knows, it's like, oh, no spoilers in the comments, guys. Like,
I mean,
I don't
again,
know.
like, you can talk about what you want, I guess. Just don't say too much if you don't want to, I guess. That's just me.
Okay. Well, let's talk about how... So, Alex, describe yourself.
Not this again. You're really going to go back like a decade.
That was literally 10 years ago. I'm eating ramen noodles, actually, as we record.
I hope they're very delicious.
You can hear from me scraping the bowl. Like...
They taste like something that I don't want to say the word of.
7-Up soda. That's what it is.
Because it sounds like it in the name. Snore. Shout out to Super Monkey Ball, by the way. Jesus.
You never finished that game.
It has no story mode at all, which is funny.
You got a 100% in Super Monkey Ball. I don't know how, but...
All mini games. Get every single banana. Do all the stages.
I have black hair, green eyes.
I know what you look like. You've spent the night in my house before many times.
Gosh. But no, Alex and I, we go way back. We go back, or LSP, we go way, way back.
You can say Alex. I'm not really against it.
Okay, Lolix.
Oh my god. Okay, maybe I should remind myself to like not go that far at least.
Yes.
So, Lolix is like the name that I was given because my brother likes to start first names that begin with... Let me rephrase that. He takes people's first names in my family and starts them with L instead of their regular first letter of their first name. It's hilarious.
Like Lonnie instead of Uncle Lonnie. You know?
Llama. Laddie.
Laddie.
Layson. Jason.
Lincess. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. They like your dog, princess? I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
So your dog, princess, I guess is Midna? I don't know.
Is what?
Your dog, princess, is Midna if she's the Twilight princess.
Minna, sure. Anyway. I forgot to mention, there are actually 4 pose. Well, actually 5 Ow. 5 pose in this game that are actually required. 1 that you get from Giovanni's house, and 4 that you get in the dungeon. So...
Isn't the pose, like, don't you have to, like, save the rich dude in the game by getting the pose souls?
It's not required, but it is a side quest.
Are you going to do that for this Let's Play or no?
Yes, I'll be getting all 60 of them.
Have you ever done a true 100% playthrough of Twilight Princess?
Yes. All 60 pose, every heart. The only thing that I haven't done was to get every single treasure chest, because I did mention in the very beginning of the playthrough, there's been some debates going around, like talking about what actually counts as 100%. But people have been like saying, "Oh, you got to get every single chest in or out of the dungeon. You got to get every single one." But what I agreed upon was that in every dungeon, I'm gonna get every single chest in the dungeon. But in the outside world, it really doesn't matter because rupees reoccur. Heart pieces and collectibles don't. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's cool. I don't know. It's just... Would you say this is one of the more brutal Zelda games to 100%? Because it sounds like it takes... I don't know how long... Well, your playthrough, your 100% file took you 26 hours, but I assume on a first playthrough it's way longer.
It can vary, because if you record it, it might take longer because you're putting more hours into it that way.
Oh yeah.
But again, it can vary. But anywho, I do want to mention, if you go into this corner, it's kind of funny how you actually get a heart piece this early in the dungeon, but if you actually open this chest, there is one. So,
how many heart pieces they got per dungeon? Like only 1? 2. Okay.
But this is one that you get in the very beginning of the Arbiter's grounds. But that's cool.
Arbiter's grounds.
And because we opened this staircase right here, the one that was hidden, you actually want to go into this one first, because there is another Poe. We're going to be halfway done with Poes already, which is kind of funny. And we're already just starting the dungeon, but we might actually end up finishing it really quickly, because the dungeon is really rather short compared to the others, so...
The Twilight Princess speedrun. You speedrun Wind Waker, LSP, but now you're getting ready to speedrun Twilight Princess. I don't know if you ever thought of doing that, but...
I'm definitely capable of doing it, that's for sure.
Oh my god. Do you know about Twilight Princess low percent speedrun?
Low percent that I'm not
It's
sure of.
It's the one speedrun Twilight Princess where you try to get the least amount of items and like you grab a rupee with Link and you just don't do anything for 15 hours and he just slowly moves.
15 hours.
You don't know about that?
You know, I probably have through like the grapevine, but I haven't tried it. I don't know.
It's literally like you play for like an hour and then you don't do any. You grab a rupee in front of like a gate and like when Link is idle and you're in that cutscene where he's holding what he grabbed, which is a rupee, he moves slightly, but it takes like 15 hours. And after 15 hours of not doing anything and just in that cutscene, he gets pushed so far he goes through a gate, and that kind of just like skips the whole point of the game.
Oh my... Why would anybody want to do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Because people are insane. I don't know. Like, people do 300-hour Baten Kaido speedruns. So it's...
Insane isn't even the word to describe it. It's more like lunatic-ish. I don't know, but...
Do it multiple times.
I guess I'm just the one who's out of it. Maybe I'm like the one out of the league. You don't really truly play the game unless you spend 100 hours not doing anything and then you move around.
How about we do every Zelda game 100% speedrun in sub 1,000 hours?
Oh, I don't know. I guess do what you
want. Like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Adventure of Link, A Link to the Past, Oracle Seasons Ages, Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks, all of them 100%.
Okay,
don't stop.
You said before I went into the dungeon that this game is at a higher tier than Skyward Sword is, but I'll mention something. for those who haven't played Skyward Sword, it is actually one of the first Zelda games in the timeline before any other Zelda game actually happened to come out. With the exclusion of Zelda 1 for like the NES or whatever console that it came out on default with.
Oh yeah.
Skyward Sword is the introduction of the Zelda timeline, which I understand why people probably wouldn't like it as much, because some people like say, I'm not really used to like probably not like a biggest fan of like the motion controls and like things like that, like the play style. But I guess, I don't know. I guess if you just really don't like timelines that start out, it's just, I guess it's just really your thing, I guess.
You got me curious and I googled it, but I don't know. I feel like that when Skyward Sword came out originally, that was when a lot of people started to before it came out, people were questioning the timeline, demanding answers from Nintendo. And I feel like Skyward Sword was just a way for Nintendo to just acknowledge that, because I don't think Nintendo really cares about the overarching timeline of the franchise. They just wanted to like kind of get the fans to quiet down about that. They care more about the stories of individual games. Well, I feel like with Breath of the Wild, they're starting to do their own like kind of story just for that game with multiple timelines.
Which I guess it's okay if they want to like, I guess not disclose certain things. But that's up to them. Like, kudos or hats off to them if they want to like just kind of go about it without really going into specifics, without disappointing the fan base of the audience or whatever you want to call them. But and
oh yeah,
Nintendo's Nintendo, dude. Like, I guess.
Oh my gosh, it's so complex, this timeline. I looked it up. Oh my goodness.
It's about the complexity being wrong. Keep it in the 70s area. We're back in the 70s era. Back when, like, back before The Breakfast Club came out. Back before Pretty in Pink came out. Because the 80s were, like, the hottest time in the area.
So, okay, let me just mention one thing about the timeline. So, apparently, I looked this up. I don't know if it's official, but there's someone claiming... So, you know how, like, the timeline splits at Ocarina of Time?
Yes.
And that there's 3 different timelines split with the game? So, apparently, Breath of the Wild kind of just makes it like it doesn't matter for those 3 timelines, because Breath of the Wild apparently happens after all 3 timelines, and they just connect them. So, I guess it just makes it to where it doesn't matter or something. I don't know.
Well, that's like the thing that I would kind of like jump into a developer's mind with. Be like, hey, what is a Breath of the Wild about? It's about a wild breath. The wild breath of what? The wild breath of Zelda.
Breath of garlic, I don't know.
Zelda's wild garlic breath. I don't know. Zelda's morning breath. Link just wakes up next to her and be like, good morning! I'm not gonna...
Why do you say they're married? I don't know. Some people claim that, at least in this game, the Link in Twilight Princess is more romantically interested in, like, what was her name? Ilia? Than Zelda.
Ilia, in fact, loses her memory. That is true. She loses her memory, but I think I would have to agree to an extent that Link does have, like, a more romantic interest in her, because, like, the way they just communicate in Twilight Princess specifically. I could be wrong, but, you know, Zelda is probably Link's primary side girl, if that makes more sense.
Oh my goodness, why? Oh man, why would you say such a thing? Anyway, I don't know. If I have to say one thing about this Link, Twilight Princess Link, is that I think this Link is probably one of the more, like, I don't know, like masculine oriented one, because you have like Kid Link. And we have Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask Link, which is just a motionless Link. And you have Toon Link from Wind Waker, and Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks, where you're just like, hey, I'm a kid, you know, dumb Link. Twilight Princess, you just get like, I am masculine. And then you get then you have Skyward Sword Link, which is just like, he's kind of like zoned out and kind of high all the time.
Zoned out.
And then you have Breath of the Wild Link, which is just kind of like a purdy little femboy or something like that. I don't know.
Link in Breath of the Wild is basically made with ink wash painting, I guess. Which actually isn't true, because Okami is made with ink wash painting, the graphic style, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know, I guess I can like agree upon art styles regarding Link's appearance and his attitude.
Link makes in this game. I have to mention that Link actually kind of, from what I remember, he has like kind of the weirder like facial expressions. This Link,
What,
Twilight
like
Princess. There's moments in the game where he kind of just makes like.
like a smile or something? Like now?
No, there's that one where he fights. What's that one boss fight where he like fights the eye spider thing with the arrows, and then when he thinks he beat it and it turns out it's not, he makes that weird like with his face.
That's Armagoma.
You know what I'm talking about? That weird look he makes. Like,
Yes. He's like, the boss isn't done yet. I have an eyeball to kill, and it's surrounded by hermit crabs because I can't shoot for shit.
Twilight Princess is
I get what you.
such a weird. Twilight Princess is such a weird game.
I'm gonna get crushed by the
I
chandelier.
like it. It's just. No.
Okay, that's a really weird trick to do. You could actually end up getting that chest back there that I just got with the red rupee in it without actually getting crushed by the chandelier. And here's actually a really hilarious thing. Here's the part that really doesn't make any sense. You can actually take out a bomb in this room and throw it at this corpse, and then you can activate the cutscene. And you do not have to do any fighting at all. Your only job in this room is to throw a bomb and you're done. Just check this out. You're gonna laugh. Here's a skeleton who came to life. Please don't hit me. You're dead.
So you don't have to do that, but doing that just ends the fight. Can you fight him regularly?
You can fight him regularly, but when he falls apart after beating him with a sword, you actually have to bomb him open, which actually kills him. But
oh, that must be why you have bombs in that chest right there, huh?
it's a bomb factory.
And more bombs.
They're bombs. More for me. Let's eat. Oops.
They blow up the Hyrule Castle like Zelda when she tries to grab a piece of milk. Or grab a piece of milk. I mean, like a piece from the pie bomb.
Anyway, the thing about this room is this. If you're playing the Wii version, you want to actually light this torch and this one on the right. On the game, because this is actually a mirrored version of the GameCube version. If you don't light this one and the one all the way to the right, here's what's going to happen if you do the one on the opposite. This gate will block the way, pretty much, and these skeleton guys will come out of the sand and you have to go and kill them. So make sure that you do the opposite. You have to take in mind that this game is actually a mirrored version, so just be aware.
So you intentionally did it incorrectly just to show them.
It's called definitiveness. Something that does exist. I don't know. It's just like a demonstration of like what actually ends up happening if you just make a mistake. But
my question about Twilight Princess is, there are currently, as of right now, they're making this video, there are rumors about Wind Waker and Twilight Princess getting like a port to the Switch. Would you be for that, or no?
probably not, but I'm probably going to end up changing my mind at some point because, like, whenever something, like, new gets released, I am always skeptical about its, well performance. Kind of like I was with the Mario movie, but I'm not actually going to talk about that because that's a topic that's going to be saved for way later on the channel because there could be possibly a podcast coming out regarding it.
This is such...
But Zelda and Wind Waker and Twilight Princess going on a Switch port would definitely seem okay, and something that's like kind of coolish. Would I go for it right away? Probably not. Does it sound cool? Sure. But right now I just don't have any plans to go and adapt to it.
I don't know why, but I'm getting reminded of Ocarina of Time right now.
Ocarina of Time. The Let's Play that I launched in my bedroom like 9 years ago with the phone in my shoe.
The phone in the shoe. No, because of these pose, like spinning around to pick the right one in the Forest Temple.
I was doing a podcast with Mega Wii Master 1, who's a really close friend, something that I actually came in contact with post Galaxy 2 Versus. He was like, and we actually brought that up in the last podcast. He was like, maybe a flat surface would have worked better, and I agreed. I was like, you know what, probably, yeah. Well, my little teenager brain didn't think that way, and I just went for a shoe. That's the first thing that I thought of.
I also miss the days of the Ocarina of Time Let's Play when the what was it, the floor master, he grabbed you and you were like, no! In the Spirit Temple.
I was like, you can't do that, man. It's not.
And then also when Chloe would randomly bark in the episode, be like,
that's when my dogs were like they didn't have a sense of humor. They just said, "Hey, let me ruin Alex's report." I don't know.
Oh, the camcorder Let's Play too. I remember you had the tube TV originally, and then you switched to the flat screen in the living room, right?
I did. You can see my reflection in the TV.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think you switched that TV that you have in your living room since that Let's Play, I think.
I did, actually. And the reason for that is actually because it went out. It kind of broke. And I had it for a good while, to be honest, and I'm actually going to take damage here on purpose.
I wonder if people still... I wonder if anyone still does, like, camcorder Let's Plays.
They probably do, and I'm actually pushing this the wrong way. No, wait, no, I am pushing it the wrong way, I'm right. So, this chest, can't get it, so you gotta go around. It is a small key, so just be aware of that. And there are no other chests in this room besides just the key. I did make sure to check for that in my practice runs. This dungeon specifically. So just get this key, and there's no other ones in this room, so you're fine. You can even refer to the map.
Cool.
Cool beans.
Speaking of the current state of Nintendo with Nintendo Pictures, the Mario movie, which Zelda game would you say would be best suited or first choice for Nintendo to adapt into a movie?
Probably, you might make fun of me for it, Majora's Mask.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like with how Nintendo is this day with Zelda, they're probably going to make a Breath of the Wild movie more than likely.
If they do, I would not be against it because I'm not like a Nintendo director. I'm not really one who makes choices or anything. But if they decide to do so, then hats off to them. If not, and if they want to make something else into a movie, hats off to them too, because I can't really make up for my own. If I had to choose, though, probably Majora's Mask. If not, maybe Ocarina of Time. Because it's such a...
Yeah. They'll do all of the movies.
Actually, I have to go and kill this redhead over here. I keep forgetting that every time that I play this dungeon.
I don't know. They could make a movie of every Zelda game. I don't know. I don't know. That'd be kind of weird, though. Be like, oh, they'll see a movie. You'll go to the movies and there'll be a poster for, like, The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons and Ages. And I'm like, really? I don't know.
Oracle of Sea. Well, that's like more of an RPG type Zelda game, which is okay. If they want to make a movie out of it, go for it. I don't care.
I don't. Now, if they're doing it animated, obviously, if they make a Zelda movie, but if they do it live action, if they ever did it live action, who should they cast as Link?
Zelda.
No, come on. I don't know. I could see maybe like Gary Busey maybe could play Link. I don't know.
Gary Busey.
And uses his Amazon Fire Stick as the Master Sword.
They should star Frankie Muniz as Link.
Dude's like 40.
Exactly.
He's not even blonde. He's not blonde. We need a blonde person to play Link.
He could dye his hair blonde. I don't know. I'm not a good decision.
Owen Wilson. Oh no, Owen Wilson could play Link. I don't know.
Wow. This is a triumph.
Wow.
It's great.
It's the Master Sword. We gotta defeat Ganondorf. Ka-chow. I don't know.
I've broken my nose at least 40 times. Wow.
My kids don't know that I'm Lightning McQueen. Ka-chow.
I'm taking out a marshmallow because I feel like
it. Here's a rip of paper towel. Oh, this freaking thing. I hate it. This is the worst thing in the game.
There's flying cockroaches and you're worried about a bird?
It's weird!
You're weird.
Oh, those cockroaches are a little creepy looking, but yeah.
I'm staring bugs and creepy crawlers in the face. I'm just like, there's a bird with boobies on it. Wow.
And a weird human face. This game's weird. I don't know.
Get these bugs
The Twilight Princess has always been like the more like kind of not gory, but like kind of more what's it called?
Animated
somewhat
blood.
Graphic. They just have more like kind of out there looking things. You know, you have chickens with human faces. You have an adult baby kind of looking talking creature thingy.
There's a guy in Lake Hylia with face painting on his stomach and his face, and he actually offers to like launch you off with a cannon.
You have a creepy bug lady girl. I don't know.
Agatha.
Yeah.
Got these guys, they pack a punch.
I don't know why Agatha is such a popular character for Twilight Princess. Literally, in Twilight Princess, the only characters they brought back for Hyrule Warriors to represent Twilight Princess was Midna and Agatha.
Because she's
Midna, yeah, but Agatha.
Agatha is a bug fangirl, pretty much.
Yeah, but you could have brought back... Who else could they have brought back from Twilight Princess for Hyrule Warriors? I don't know. Maybe,
Ilia? Zelda?
Ilia? Well, not Zelda, because they already had a Zelda, but I mean, like, they could have brought back Ilia. They could have brought back the freaking mailman.
Mr. McFailey, as if Megway Master 1 would say. David Newell. Let me just start by saying David Newell is like a guy that actually starred as Mr. Rogers' neighbor in the show called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He starred as a mailman called Mr. McFailey.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious. I don't know, Telma?
And then who else could... No, you know who they could actually cast as Ganondorf? They could cast Dwayne The Rock Johnson to play Ganondorf, I feel.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
To play Ganondorf, because he's, like, ripped, you know, like Ganondorf, you know. Just give him a wig, you know. I don't know.
I have no idea. It's really interesting, though. But
give him a hairdo that Jason had 10 years ago.
A hairdo.
I remember back when we first met, you used to joke that your brother looked like Ganondorf. But...
Which he did. He had red hair. But speaking of hairdo, you're going to look at this guy. And this guy is, yes, he's the mini-boss. His name is Death Sword. He's probably one of my favorite mini-bosses, if not probably a really cool mini-boss in any Zelda game that I've played specifically.
We got ourselves a bag of mini marshmallows. We're going to love it. We're going to crave it. And make sure we're dead by 35.
What is that, a cartoon reference?
No, it's... Tell me if you remember this. And bacon strips. And bacon strips. And bacon strips. And more bacon!
Boogie.
I remember when we were like 10 years ago. I remember your mom... You left your computer on. I just ear blasted on the speakers that video.
That video.
And your mom heard like bacon strips and bacon strips.
It was really easy to hear because of how loud he was in the video.
I got my mini marshmallow stuck in a gun.
Mini marshmallow stuck in a gun. Oh my gosh. Why do I even bother to bring up those days?
Back in the old days of YouTube.
Back in the YouTube days, I didn't have children. I didn't have lollipops.
Still don't have children.
I didn't have lollipops in the basement.
So, Alex, how much more estimated time do we have for this dungeon?
We're actually almost done. We're actually almost.
But we're at the mini boss. The mini boss is usually representing the halfway point of the dungeon.
Believe it or not, this dungeon, like I said, is relatively short. There's like a couple more like mini rooms after this, and before you know it, we're gonna be at Stalwart already. But you might hate hearing this, but after we get this item here, which I'm not gonna say it until it appears, we're gonna warp out of the dungeon and go and like run some mini errands, which is gonna take like.
Oh, the spinner! That, in my opinion, I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's fine. What were we gonna say about the spinner?
The spinner, the boss of this dungeon, with riding the spinner. That's the most fun part of this whole game for me. That's so much fun.
I know, like the boss of this place is just, there's nothing like it.
I love that boss, and I also like the boss that's near the end of the game when we're in the Sky Kingdom with the dragon, with the hook shot. I like that one too.
Yeah. Dragons, like, when's the last time you've seen a dragon in a Zelda game, with the exclusion of Volvagia from the Fire Dungeon in Ocarina of Time?
If you count, actually, I just fought when I've been playing through Hyrule Warriors. I remember there's a dragon, like, I think it was Volvagia, actually. No, you got the freaking dragon from Wind Waker, Dragon Roost Island.
Well, that's not a boss, that's more like that's an ally.
You gotta pull his tail, which implies that you're hurting him, which is fighting, so he is a boss. So fight him, and he's big.
You're exploiting his body parts to kill another boss.
No! Get out of here. You don't... Why did we leave the dungeon?
So, you're gonna probably like say, we're getting out of the dungeon. Hear me out, we got some things to do. There's a couple little poes that actually want to get over here, as well as another collectible that you can use for the spinner. You can use the spinner.
So, A couple little poos. Get some poo. Collect the poo.
I got hit.
Collect the souls.
I got hit, and I still yanked this guy's heart out of his chest. It doesn't make any sense, but I'll take it.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Is playing with the wolf, playing as Wolf Link ever weird, or not really?
Not really. I do really just kind of admire the fact that I get to play as a human for the most part of the game, but whatever I do as Wolf Link, I just find exciting too. I'm not going to really complain, but anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah, dude,
he's cool to play as.
At least you get to ride around with Minda on your back. Minda's like saying, I have no responsibility here whatsoever.
She's a little dwarf creature.
An imp.
With a big head.
Anyway, you want to head this way, or like southish, and then grab this horse grass and call Epona over. What I am going to do, just before getting another collectible, which this is a collectible that I'm going to get. It's a posol, but still. I want to equip the bomb arrows for this, by the way. You want to head across the Great Bridge of Hylia, and we're going to get something. Another posol. Posols, I really haven't walked into like the significance of them. Really, all I can really point out is that there's 60 of them, and you need them to go and save this guy in Hyrule Castle. His name is Giovanni. He is cursed. He is frozen in time with a cat and gangle on top of his head, and we're gonna save him.
We're gonna save him. Oh, man.
We're gonna save him. We're gonna save him like I saved my son Billy back in the time that I was fighting in Vietnam.
What?
Back in my time, we didn't have war. We had peacetime, with family dinners at the kitchen table. We talked about smoking dookies in front of the campfire with children.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about
smoking dookies in front of the campfire. What?
I'm talking about grandpa stories at the kitchen table, man. You gotta live a little, man.
So how do you feel about... So, speaking of that, going back to movies. So, you know who Jason Momoa is, right?
Jason who?
Jason Momoa. He played Aquaman in the new Aquaman movie.
Think so.
Did you know that they casted him as the main character for the Minecraft movie coming out in 2025? Did you know that they're making a Minecraft movie?
That I did know. I did know that.
They casted freaking Aquaman to star in the Minecraft movie. My question is, how do you make a movie about Minecraft? I guess it involves defeating the Ender Dragon is the end goal, I assume.
You gotta kill the Ender Dragon or else you're gonna die. I don't know.
Well, you gotta get the Big Poe defeated to help with the spinner, or else you're gonna lose the dungeon boss fight.
I'm gonna lose the dungeon boss fight. However, after I do get that postal, I want to head straight north into this Coliseum over here. Coliseum, what am I talking about?
Incursion.
And I actually want to leave Epona right here really quick, because this is where it actually does in fact end. Even though I'm actually not going to get back on Epona, but still, I want to use the spinner to kind of launch off in the distance, because beyond these tracks is like another collectible. So you want to start here, and then launch off into the distance.
That's so much fun. It's so fun riding the spinner, isn't it?
The spinner is like, I don't know, one of, if not probably one of my most favorite items in Twilight Princess specifically. I don't know what my favorite item would be in Wind Waker, besides, with the exclusion of the Swift Sail in the HD version, but the spinner it's just so useful, and it's like so fun to actually use.
Yeah.
This is another heart piece.
They need to
still.
They need to bring back the spinner in a future Zelda game. For when Tears of the Kingdom comes out next month, they gotta bring it back. That would be epic.
Yeah, I would agree.
So, also, speaking of Tears of the Kingdom, what is your honest opinion about Ganondorf's new design for Tears of the Kingdom?
The one thing that I was hoping you wouldn't bring up, you bring it up anyway. Just Ganondorf's art style. I don't know.
That's why I think they could get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to play Ganondorf for the Zelda movie.
Dude! Don't jump in the sand, like. Didn't Mommy and Daddy say
Or who else could play? I don't know.
Who else could play Ganondorf? I don't know. Probably. Actually, I have no idea.
Chumley. Maybe Chumley. I don't know.
What, Pawn Stars? Wow.
You got arrested, but anyway.
Actually, if I can actually make my way over here, if I can climb this, that'd be nice. There's a little chest over here that I want to get.
Making my way downtown. Gonna get the chest. Gonna ride the spinner to get to the boss fight.
I never understood why they gave you so many bombs in this dungeon.
Bombs? It's probably because you might be using that at the fight. You got a red rupee.
F is for fire. To burn down the whole town. U is for uranium. Bombs.
Bombs. Then if there's no survivors, where are you?
Plankton. You gotta use the bombs, or else you're gonna die.
I feel all fuzzy inside.
Should we
I
stop?
feel like Plankton from SpongeBob.
This is another heart piece. I'm getting so many of them.
Oh yeah, I think this is the one Zelda game where you need 5 pieces of heart to get a heart container, not 4.
You do, actually. It's kind of funny, but it is the truth.
What if like an ultra challenge for a Zelda game to be like, you got to get 10 pieces of heart to get 1 heart container.
That would suck.
20 pieces of heart to get a 1 heart container.
Oh, don't jack up the number, please.
I got an idea. What if for the newest Zelda game they make it bigger and bigger with each Zelda game, where it's like there's like 50 dungeons.
They make it harder, better, faster, stronger, pretty much. No, don't jump.
No,
Link!
the ultimate Zelda game will be 50 dungeons. Well, I know in Breath of the Wild there's 900 Korok seeds to collect.
That's ridiculous. Talk about hilarious.
What, the Korok seeds, or are you failing?
Both. The fact that there's 900 Korok seeds, I'm probably never gonna find them, and the fact that I just jumped off twice without actually taking responsibility, but still.
There's 900 Korok seeds, 250 pieces of heart, up to 50 health bars. I don't know if I correlated that correctly in calculation. Yeah, 50 dungeons. What else could there be? There's like 100 items.
100 items.
There's
yes.
like maybe like some kind of like souls or whatever collectible item, like souls. You have to get like 300 post souls or something. I don't know.
Now 60 is even atrocious, but 300.
Total playtime is like 1,000 hours. I don't know.
I guess do what they want. I really can't stop them at all.
A Zelda game with 1,000 dungeons.
1,000. Now that I would probably just like stop playing the game after like the 6th dungeon.
You spend like 5 years of your life trying to complete it. Oh my gosh, what is it? I don't know. I'm Link and I got myself a key. It's gonna open a door and the door is gonna lead to something cool.
But you keep the red thing.
I'm Weird Link and I look at things weird like a key. I'm like, whoo!
How many times?
And I'm gonna get in this thing.
How many times?
He's teabagging. Stop, dude.
I can't. It's the way the things are.
He's like, na, 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 na.
What is this like? It's a small world.
No, it's like that. If you can't beat him, join him. You
Oh
left
my
your spinner. Oh no, you didn't.
Thanks, John Tron, for ruining my video.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I can't beat him.
He's spinning around.
I'm about to do it again here too, actually.
I just realized something. Link, that was like, you know when he's like was on that wall and he was kind of like spinning in a different direction, kind of like slowly. That reminded me of like the episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob and Patrick are on the Flying Dutchman ship, and then he's like spin around, and it shows them like spinning around slowly, and then become like ice skaters.
Yeah, but can we actually bring up the fact that Link is still having his
touching fire? He
still has his manhood after standing in a fire. It doesn't make any sense.
Language. This is a kids program we're watching.
Silence!
For a T for Team rated game.
Anyway.
I don't know. Is Twilight Princess T for teen? I think it is.
It is T for teen. Just making sure we didn't forget any chests. We got all the chests. We got the map, the compass, and the big key. We're ready for Stallion.
The game is not fully 100% completed unless you collect every single rupee in the game and every single heart.
Then
it's like
that would make sense.
You have to also. You can't get 100% completion in Twilight Princess unless you cut every blade of grass in the entire game.
That would make
You talk to every NPC.
That would make sense because in Galaxy 2, like they pull out the same kind of principle. You have to collect every single star bit in the game in order to unlock the perfect run.
No, you don't. You need to get 9,999. That's every one.
Exactly. Unless you're on New Game Plus after you do it the first time. Anyway.
Why does this guy look? Why does this boss looks like a freaking like thing you would see at like a Texas Roadhouse restaurant or something?
Texas Roadhouse. You mean a skeleton? Wow.
Yeah, the skeleton. See it like at the entrance. For I fear. Freaking Zont with his tongue sticking out.
Zont? You mean Zant.
That wasn't it? Zant. Zelda pronunciation does not matter, okay?
Unless you're saying Zant in like a really French accent. Like, I had to defeat Zant. To another 100% this game.
Yeah, let's play as Link and beat Zont. I don't know.
Zant.
Or Zant. I don't... Zont, I don't know. Epona. I remember I watched a Let's Play of this game. I think it was Steven Plays. He played Twilight Princess. I remember he called it Epona. Epona. It's like people that... I don't know, but you know how people that say like, oh, it's not caramel, it's caramel. They say caramel so they can sound smart. But it's actually caramel.
True, but I'm the one who actually names... The fact that you can name your horse in Twilight Princess. I called her Sir Glute. Which is hilarious.
No.
But...
Call the horse, little horsey.
Thinking about my common sense, but like... the weird things that I come up with names for. Anyway. But welcome to probably... one of my favorite bosses in this game. Literally,
oh yes.
Thanks, Clay Soldier, for like standing in my way.
This is the Texas level.
Why? Of all things.
Because
why is it called the Texas?
Like something you say at Texas. It's something like Texas Rock. Because it go to Texas, like it's all desert, you know. Or that would be Arizona or New Mexico.
You're the desert. You're the desert.
I'm not in the desert.
Ow. Stalor decides.
Got hurt.
Stalor decides
Ow,
to breathe his morning breath into my face.
Do you have any great fairies? Just making sure.
Great fairies? I can't check right now because I'm in a cutscene. I can check.
Well, you don't have to check. I'm just asking.
I have milk, which restores like a half heart.
Yeah, but if you lose, it doesn't refill it after you die. Like great fairy. You know, you could die right now.
Which isn't gonna happen because like there's hearts in this room.
Well, actually, if you guys aren't aware, Lilsop Plays, he's currently at the moment, he was actually performing a speedrun trick that'll bring him to the very end of the game, which if you die at the right positioned angle, you know, at the right frame, Link will get a game over screen, but once the game over screen is over, you'll actually spawn at the Ganondorf fight, and you'll beat him in 2 seconds.
Are you talking about the Ocarina of Time exploit with the bug?
Maybe. I did that once.
You did the bug exploit in the Goma
We
fight.
beat the game, we're done.
Not yet, boy.
Every Zelda boss fight has to have a second phase. Every one.
If there is no second phase, it's not a dungeon. Well...
Oh my gosh. The freaking second phase where I told you Link makes that weird face of the spider looking dude is like the most like weirdest second phase ever.
Maybe you need to guess in that dungeon too. It's up to you. I don't know.
I'm good. I'll show up, literally, I'll join the Discord call, or I'll call you personally when you get to that point, and I'll be like, hey guys, I'm just here to react to Link's weird face when he sees the spider thing. He's like, okay, bye guys. That's my little guest appearance. Oh.
Thanks for the vote of confidence in the Temple of Time and prayer.
Yes. Because Ocarina of Time, greatest game of all time. This thing needs to brush its teeth.
That camera angle, they're like Stalward's teeth inside of his mouth.
Okay, this is the most fun part of the entire boss fight.
This is like my most favorite phase. Stalwart is... I freaking love Stalwart so much. It's just... Since when do you get to fight a giant skeleton in Zelda? Like when?
While riding on the wall.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Now he's breathing these... Now he's breathing these yellow balls at me, like the piss balls that I can't even dodge.
You jumped too late, I think.
Like, I don't understand.
You don't understand. No one understands. New World Order.
You try to understand. I'm a magic man. I'm
surprised at this point in your life you have yet to speedrun Wind Waker, or Let's Play Wind Waker on your channel.
at the age of 25.
It'd be weird if you do a let's play of Wind Waker, you have to resist doing storage.
You can actually do that in the HD version. No storage, but you can.
Or zombie hover, in Twilight Princess.
If zombie hovering was the thing in Twilight Princess, I would probably be celebrating with, like, Italian food. I can zombie hover in one other game besides Wind Waker. That's freaking awesome. Let's celebrate.
And it's so easy to do. It's not hard to, like, well, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's like, it's not hard to, like, just perform it. You just gotta, like, just spam B. It's hard, but, like, just making it work a little bit.
There's nothing hard about button mashing. It's just setting up the whole thing.
Use spoons.
Spoons! So many spoons, so little time.
I remember a dude who speedrun Ocarina of Time. I don't remember his name, but I remember, like, he was kind of controversial in the community because his method for, like, button mashing was, like, he used spoons while speedrunning.
Scoons, as Ethan would say.
Scoons.
As
who would say?
It's basically spoons with a backwards P, other known as a Q. But...
Scoons.
Scoons.
Beans? An edible seed?
Herpsicle.
We are nearing the end of this fight, and this episode shall end soon as a Morse code message for someone. I'm sorry for that. I have a wild beast behind me.
What do you mean by Morse code?
A wild beast!
Morse code message? Can you elaborate,
yes.
please?
Well, okay, well, the thing is, by the way, you've kind of done this like 3 times. I don't know.
Yeah, and this is the end of Stalwart coming up in just a moment.
Then you got Phase 3 coming out, where he, like... Oh my gosh, imagine
4?
like a Zelda boss fight where there's like 30 phases to the boss.
Okay, well apparently I was wrong. Apparently there's 4 phases to this actual segment. Or 4 cycles.
What if there's a... Oh, the Ultimate Zelda game? There's 50 dungeons, and there's like 4 mid-bosses for each dungeon leading up to each boss. And the boss has like 50 phases. I don't know. Each boss has 50 phases.
I wouldn't even finish the game at that rate.
You could. Just take you your whole life. I don't know. You'd be like an old man, and you'll be like halfway through the game.
Hey, Sonny, I'm still let's playing this game. How you doing? Wow.
You needed one more hit. Oh my goodness.
One jump attack, man. That's what I get for wasting a second.
And now let's get ready for his final phase.
Well, with that said, that is the end of the Arbiter's Grounds.
And this has been the end of Twilight Princess. That was a great game. You know, what's your next project gonna be?
I probably can't answer that just yet. But I will make sure that it's probably. I will make sure that it's great.
His next Let's Play is gonna be Bot and Kaidos, 100%.
Happy America Day.
Anyway.
Alright, LFP. Let's go. We're closing the mirror of Twilight.
She doesn't speak like that. She's like, Miss Bogan, what? Got beat more? Oh no.
I got a female heart body. Yeah.
Did you know that the voice actress for Midna in this game, she speaks English? They just like jumbled it up.
Yeah. They actually did a video where they took one of Midna's lines and basically rearranged it to where it was actually in real time. And
oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, we wrapping it up?
Yeah, so this wraps up the first dungeon out of the intermission of the game, pretty much. We did the first 3 fused shadows, and then we're doing the 4 mirror shards, this is going to make 1. In the next dungeon, well, I can't really say that that's going to be the next episode, but then in the next episode, we're going to continue on with the plot, and probably do some shopping and investing with the rupees, and probably get the magic armor. That can probably be talked about in the next episode. But the next dungeon will be where I left off in my previous playthrough. The Snow Peak Ruins. Yes.
Yes.
I will be finishing
Stops the game at that point. I don't know.
I will be finishing the game for reals this time.
He quits the series at the final boss fight.
No! Anyway.
Alright.
With that being said, stay tuned. Subscribe to go and subscribe to See the Cord. Link in the description.
Thank you. Subscribe to Little Soup Plays as well. Link in the
I am
description.
soup. I'm gonna.
Well, now he'll remember to do it unless his internet is not able to do it. But.
New World Order. I cannot post somebody's link to the channel in my description because YouTube won't let me, because I will die before it's finished.
Bye, guys.
Subscribe, like, comment, or anything else. Peace out, everyone.